John, we got a good one today talking about something that's so hot. You can't escape hearing it at any
Don't.
single turn. It's cancel culture.
Oh God.
It's prevalent. It's coming to your
Prevalent.
backyard. Yeah, is that not right?
It's tip of every. Yo, it's prevalent. All right. It's on the tip of everyone's. It's on the tip of everyone's tongue, 24/7.
Yeah, you can't avoid it. So latest thing being is the Dave Portnoy Barstool. This thing is it's so crazy to me that I can come
Yeah.
at this in so many different directions. One, it's so crazy to me that it's almost like both parties planned what's happening because they're both
Yeah.
fucking benefiting so much from it, which makes me think, am I just a pawn in this whole thing that's paying attention or listening? Now, I do want to start off by saying that I have been outspoken about this for years amongst my inner circles, amongst the younger generation of the nephews and cousins I have. They're in those 20 somethings. I have been against the barstool culture
Yeah.
since it has happened. Now, that doesn't mean that I don't wish I had the success that he's had building a brand like that. That's what I'm trying to do here, right? With all this. Envious of that. Smart dude is playing to his masses. All that I get. I am not hating on the dude because he's winning. He's won, basically, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the whole barstool culture, I've always been against. I've thought it was stupid from day one, even when it's been going on a long time, but even when I was 28, 29, I was looking at it like Saturdays are for the boys. I hear that. I just cringe.
Yeah.
That Saturdays are for the boys that can't get laid. They finally came up with an excuse that they go out and they're just going to hang out with guys all the time and do all this and act like idiots because they have no girls around them. You know what I mean? I don't even know what to, you know what I mean? I've got a whole thing about the culture it's created.
But, yeah, I agree. It's harmful to women. I mean, not harmful, but these people are acting like, immature dipshits at 40 years old.
Yeah, well, Christ, the age group of that demographic that follows it, I can't even.
Or 30. Yeah, I mean.
No,
whatever.
well, I mean, even the most of them that are your mid 20s. It's college. It's Barstool. Yeah. Barstool, Miami University, Barstool, Austin. I mean, I get it. Thank God I wasn't 19 or 20 when it reached its popularity because I'm not stupid or naive enough to think that I probably could have got involved in some of it too. I want to get on camera. I don't know what these kids are going through when it comes to all that. You know what I mean? I'll admit that. But now here we go. He is being accused of all this different sexual stuff and sexual assault to a woman or guy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the whole brand and culture has been built on objectifying women.
Thank you.
All these things, and now all of a sudden, its founder who built this is being accused of this. And everyone's like, oh, I thought he just did pizza reviews and went to campuses and made fun of people. What are we doing?
Yeah, people are rushing to his defense. He cultivated this entire scenario. I mean, he was teaching people how to solicit rendezvous, let's call them, online with celebrities. He was very open about his dalliances, his relationships with young women. Dalliances, thank you.
No clue.
He was very open. When I was talking about they're 40 years old, I think he's 40 something, and he was routinely dating. Not even the right word for it, but in relationships,
hanging out with, in relationships with.
So then someone finally just allegedly tells the truth about what was going on, and he rushes to the media as if he's the victim.
Well,
and he invokes the C on your chest, the cancel culture card, as if cancel culture is the reason that he is facing any sort of controversy whatsoever. Not at all. Has nothing to do with it.
Well, I don't know about that.
Well, we don't know. You're right.
Here's what I'm saying. I don't like the dude, but it's fascinating to me, and this is kind of what he's saying. It's incredible that a media outlet or anybody can just go and just dig up anything they want because they don't like your style or they know, hey, it's the old fashioned witch hunt.
Yeah.
Did something really happen, or did they just start to go and say, man, all right, if we can get a huge story in this dude, let's go talk to everybody in his inner circle. Everybody, if we get any person that's hooked up, and it's hundreds and dozens, whatever you want to call it, of women. He's not shy about it. It's on this. And now I believe that piece of the cancel culture has come for him in a way like that. Like, because he has to piss a lot of fucking people off. Right. I mean, come on. There's a lot of people that look at that guy going, this is, this thing you created is not your grandma's, hometown village here. This is, he's screwing with the minds of these college kids and desensitizing sex and everything, which was already done before him anyway.
Well, first of all, let's get something straight. He's not been canceled. He still has his entire media empire is unblemished. So he's invoking the cancel culture card falsely because he hasn't been canceled and probably won't be canceled. And in my opinion, I think he is somewhat benefiting from the notoriety that this story has generated.
Sure.
And this was a illegitimate media outlet that ran with this story, investigated, if you want to call it that. I mean, they interviewed some of his partners, if you will, and they told a story or two, whether they're true or not, who the hell knows. And then he's gone on a media campaign, sort of breathing life into this thing. If he would just anyone else that's a victim of this type of hit job, if that's what it is, would have just shut up and said false, and I'm not even going to respond to it. What does he do? He's on every show in America talking about the damn thing. The hit piece, the media outlet that wrote it they're probably tickled as pie that he's out there.
He's played right into their cards with how big he's made it for them. Everybody know. I never heard of Business Insider until this whole thing.
Yeah, he probably owns it.
You
can see how cynical I am about this.
I hear you, and I don't want to make this all about him because I don't give a fuck about him, and I think his whole brand is stupid, and I don't buy into it, and I just, again, it's stupid. But what I don't like about it when I see something like this is the way we've shifted in society of anyone can do this, and there are millions of Americans or whatever that have heard of him now or whatever, like, oh yeah, he's a rapist or he did this or that. You are now, as soon as we see it in sports. Jesus Christ, the NCAA, when they start their bullshit of governing body and everything else, but doesn't matter if celebrities or politicians, you're instantly guilty in this country now because of how quickly you can get it to every outlet and how quickly that perception can be made, and perception is now reality. And we've now shifted to everything that used to be in this country of you have a chance to go on a trial. Now you're guilty. Now you have to fight to prove you're innocent. And that's completely against our judicial system.
Well, so speaking of the judicial system, as you know, I'm a fantastic lawyer during the day. Not to talk about myself, but I'm, a phenomenal attorney. So I know a little bit about this. I know a little bit about the law.
Phenomenal attorney.
Well, you mentioned, people that are the targets of these things are in large part guilty until proven innocent. Also, people have lost their sense of the justice system, in the sense of there's a difference between being charged with a crime and being sued by someone alleging something. Right. And let me bring up Deshaun Watson, quarterback of the Houston Texans. He has not been charged with a crime. In fact, he's not even under investigation. Not one person that we know of has even filed any sort of police report, or if they have, the police have said this does not rise to the level of crime, or didn't happen, or whatever.
Right.
What has happened? So that's the criminal law, okay? And Deshaun Watson, as far in the eyes of the law, is innocent. In fact, he hasn't even been charged with anything. I mean, there's nothing to talk about. What has happened, though, are dozens of women have filed a lawsuit through one attorney, basically filing a class action against him, alleging sexual assault or things like that. And people have blurred the line, or they're not even paying attention to the fact that anyone can file a lawsuit for any reason. There's bogus lawsuits filed every day.
Right.
And that is not the same as being alleged to have violated the law of the land. Those people, when you get sued, you're suing for money, versus if Deshaun Watson was facing criminal prosecution, he'd be facing jail time.
Right.
versus these people are just seeking a check, and that's all they can get.
Money. Yeah.
So people, and there's another football player who's in the same boat, but people need to understand the difference between being charged with a crime or being under investigation or being sued, which I can do to, I can sue Deshaun Watson tomorrow for anything.
Do it. Let's fucking do it.
You and I, we can sue Joe Montana. We can sue Michael Jordan for anything.
Hey. Whoa.
Yeah.
Those are my guys.
Right. So people, when they're listening to these stories, please keep in mind, if someone's being sued, it really means the criminal prosecution is bye-bye. Law enforcement said nothing to see here, but yet with the media's assistance, people get sued and breathe life into a bunch of nonsense.
Well, and this just goes right into what I was saying earlier about guilty until proven innocent. Nobody pays attention to anything you just said or anything. You know what they know right now? Deshaun Watson isn't playing football because he sexually assaulted somewhere around 24 women.
He's been under investigation for.
No one has any fucking idea what he did, what
has happened. He hasn't played a snap because of this. He has not been charged with a crime. And nothing has happened with the lawsuits. In fact, he's saying, I'm not paying them one red cent. And if that's how he believes, good for him. But he's been convicted.
He's convicted. He's a rapist and sexual assault.
Right. So, I mean, I understand not everyone's a lawyer, but for the love of God, we should know the difference between the police showing up at your house and then being handed a lawsuit. There's two different things. Anyway, there's your legal lesson for the day from a brilliant attorney.
Is that free?
No. I'm sending you a bill for $1,000. Yeah,
I can't publish this unless people pay.
Right. Exactly.
Keep talking. It's just this whole idea of the cancel culture. It was first. It came and it was real. And it's like, as soon as people started to be canceled, it sounds so stupid to say, these celebrities and famous people, but it happens at the local level too. I mean, people are getting canceled in your own communities. I mean, this guy over here put a sign in his yard that's these neighbors he's canceled. He's like out of the circle, whatever happens. This wife did such and such. People are getting canceled left and right, not just on a national scene. But then something weird happened, just like anything else. The cancel culture went so far above and beyond to cancel things that we believe in. When I say we, many, many millions of Americans are sitting around and they just I'll let it happen. I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit. And finally, it's just like, what? It starts with little things. Okay, we can't play say the Pledge of Allegiance of our classroom. Okay. Yeah. And they let it go. And then it's all of a sudden, well, we can't sing God Bless America, or we can't we got to change the name of the Cleveland Indians. And finally, when you oppress people, they rise up. Okay, so that's what has happened. Now, you've got the anti-cancel culture rising up and going, you know what? And it's the same thing it's the same thing as any political party. It is, no matter which one you're a part of, you have the agenda and you're going to make that determination, and then you're just going to go with it and push it. So now that there is this anti-cancel culture out there, as soon as somebody comes under fire, comes under scrutiny for some sort of racist thing or some sort of sexual thing or some sort of thing that just fucking offended all of the sensitive goddamn people in this country or whatever, that starts sounding off, they know that there's this whole mob of people now that are just against the cancel culture. No matter what, they're just going to be like, they're trying to cancel him. Cancel culture. So now what do we have? Would you alluded to it earlier? They're playing the ace of spades cancel culture card at every corner now. Yeah. So now I'm again, like, I think just like my politics, now I'm just in the middle again. Now I'm just boxing people on either side of this fucking side because they're all insane. You've got Aaron Rodgers, he's cancel culture. Aaron, no one tried to cancel you. You blatantly lied in a camera about being vaccinated. Yeah. And people don't like it because now you have the virus and you cost your team and you lied. And you tried to play the cancel culture card. What the fuck are you talking about? Yeah. That's not cancel culture. You're an asshole. There's
an overcorrection. I think everyone got sick of
overcorrection. Great term for it.
there was a cancel culture push, and then there was the counter action, the reaction to that, which sort of blunted. And now we have people invoking the cancel culture card, like Aaron Rodgers, totally illegitimately. Yeah, I mean, he basically lied and said he was vaccinated or whatever word he applied to it. He got caught because he got sick,
Yeah.
and his employer told him how many months ago did the NFL release the rules for vaccinated and unvaccinated players, and you can pick which one you want to be, but these are the rules.
Yeah.
But Aaron Rodgers is a special case. He's one of the top players in the NFL. His entire team's success largely relies on him playing, and he rolled the dice and lost. Instead of taking responsibility, he plays the what card are we playing? I'm so confused. The anti-cancel culture card. He played that one? No, he played the cancel culture card. Okay.
Well, he played the cancel culture. He played the cancel culture card because he knows the anti-cancel culture people will jump on that and say, yeah, great card to play there. Yeah. They're trying to cancel you, Aaron Rodgers. What they should fucking cancels that goddamn
I still
air buddy's got.
I don't know the left bower from the right bower in euchre. Is that if clubs is Trump, is the left bower, is that the club or is that the spade? I don't even know.
Can't say Trump. That's canceled.
Canceled.
Yeah, you can't say Trump.
Yeah, and then by the way,
cancel something else. Cancel his fucking wacko girlfriend or fiance or whatever. Or cancel that goddamn man bun he's got going.
Well,
that's about the only thing he's getting canceled on.
Well, he turned tail and ran because he's since apologized. He's been fined. The Packers have been fined $300,000, and oh, by the way, they lost with him out, and that might cost them home field advantage. No big deal as long as it's always all about him. I've always seen right through this guy. The whole summer when he wanted to be a talk show host instead of quarterback in the Packers and try to engineer a trade. I mean, anyway, the guy's he's a narcissist, and this is just the latest example of that. Anyway, thank God he got called out on it. And let it be a warning to anyone playing the cancel culture card that check the tapes is all over it.
Yeah. We're going to find out, are you playing the cancel culture card to get the support of the anti-cancel culture, or are you just part of the anti-cancel culture, or are you just part of the cancel culture? We here will find out. Not only that, John, how about canceling people that haven't been alive in 100 years?
The statues.
Where do we go with that?
I mean, okay, so they're taking down statues, Jefferson, Lincoln, I've lost track, Columbus, obviously.
Thomas Jefferson got canceled. What do you think he's thinking?
He doesn't care.
What the fuck? I got canceled. What's that mean?
Yeah, I mean, here's my comment on statues. I will say this. We can switch up the statues. I will say that. We don't have to have a statue of Thomas Jefferson for the next 600 years. We can responsibly take it down and we have a lot of other heroes since 1776. I mean, Schwarzkopf, Colin Powell.
Schwarzenegger?
I say put Schwarzenegger up there, the Terminator. There's a lot of other people that probably deserve a statue since the American Revolution. I will say that.
Sure,
so I'm not against switching out statues. However, yes, tearing down or taking names off of elementary schools for people that have been dead for 200 years. I mean, what does that accomplish? I mean, it doesn't erase the last 200 years where the school was called that.
Right.
The diplomas at these schools still say Jefferson High or Lincoln High or whatever it is.
Yeah.
I mean, so.
Well, I am against changing out fucking statues. What's the whole point of a goddamn? I'm not saying don't add any new ones, and there's great people from all different races and backgrounds that have contributed to our country in the last 200 years. Put up new statues of them, but don't tear statues down. So
are you against
what's the whole point of a goddamn statue?
Are you against the tearing part? What if city council just said, we've had this statue of John Adams for 200 years. We'd like to put up one of Teddy Roosevelt or Kennedy. I mean, would that bother you? There's this attachment to the statues I never got. I know they should be torn down.
I don't know.
I know they should be torn down. I get that part. But switching them out every once in a while, I don't think it should be outlawed.
Switching them out is the same thing as tearing them down. You don't just pick it up and go put it in a storage closet for 8 months and then bring it back out like it's changing seasons. It's not Christmas fucking lights. It's a statue. You don't just build a statue for, somebody winning a golf tournament Okay, you put up a statue of Jack Nicklaus because he won 18 majors and finished second in 90 of them. Okay, you put up statues of people for a reason. Why would you take them down? Just find something different to do.
Well, I'll just say this about statues: you shouldn't put one up of people that are still alive. A case in point would be Pete Rose, or naming these streets after those types of people, because or O.J. Simpson. You never know. You never know what they're still capable of while they're walking the earth. So we certainly shouldn't be putting up statues of people that are living. Excuse me, my goodness.
Can we shift gears right there on OJ? Is there anybody you know that's living a better life?
He's sitting in suites at Rich Stadium. I know it's not called that anymore. Whatever the Bill Stadium's called. Yeah, he's at the 50-yard line, leather seats. I don't.
He's which is my favorite part of OJ is
OJ has not been canceled, by the way. Think about it.
No. You can't cancel OJ.
By the way, neither was Urban Meyer. Surprising. He should, the whole scenario with him.
Why would he be?
How is he not canceled? Why? I mean, he's on tape. He checked all the boxes for being canceled, and somehow, took advantage of a woman. High priority on video. BS
First
apology.
Of all, I hate Urban Meyer, and you know that. But why would he be canceled? Because he got drunk in a bar and somebody decided to grind on his lap? That's not cancelable. Well, I mean, people did try to cancel him, but
okay.
The anti-cancel culture came in. Anyway, back to OJ. My favorite part about OJ is he gets to weigh in on the most morally challenged things in our country that happens. Like someone gets busted or in trouble, like John Gruden, right? Perfect example. John Gruden got in some hot water. Okay. I would say so. Cancel culture came from him. I will stand by it. I read everything. I don't know any of these people. I don't think John Gruden is a racist or any of his stuff was racist, but a lot of the stuff he said from the other stuff, the homophobic stuff was terrible. The not having the woman, right? It was all bad. But John Gruden's not some monster human. I tell you who is. O.J. Simpson. That's a fucking monster who macheted 2 human lives with his bare hands, and yet he is on a selfie video on Instagram and Twitter weighing in on John Gruden with his country club in the background, and he brutally murdered people with his hands. And yet our society doesn't want to cancel him. Let's look it up real quick. How many fucking sick people in this country follow O.J.
I already beat you to the punch.
What'd you get?
898,400. So almost a mil.
Actually, I give this country some credit.
Why?
That's not that many.
It's not? Okay.
I was expecting 5 to 10 million.
There's nothing more funny, by the way, in social media than the comments to anything related to OJ. I mean, you could read those all day long. They're fantastic.
I love the comments.
Well,
how isn't he canceled?
Well, he's also in a country club now. I sweated out my country club admission form, my lofty position here in Peoria. I needed to go find a sponsor to vouch for my character. I mean, O.J. Simpson's he's a member of every country club in the United States.
For real?
I don't know. You fill out the app, whatever. You fill out the application, you have someone vouch for you.
You should have sent it to me.
I mean, if they're letting OJ in, I think I'm good.
You should be good. And by the way, say you're at a country club for a long time. Country clubs, no shying away from it. They are wealthy people, upper class of society. That doesn't make them all good people, right? I'm sure there's some bad people, but typically they're not first degree murderers. So you're at this country club for years, and now, hey, we got a new member. We put all the new members' faces up on the board. Oh, look at that. It's Timmy Johnson. We've been wondering when him and Jane were going to join. Orenthal O.J. Simpson is now a member in our country club.
Is he coming to the new member reception to put all the knives away? Jeez. Go with the plastic flatware.
What do we do with
See
OJ
what I mean?
when he comes up to the prime rib slicing table? That chef's got to be sweating like a...
Please keep him out of the Easter brunch buffet. He shouldn't get near that thing.
No.
Yeah, the au jus and the The prime rib special. Please keep him away from that. By the way, he's allowed to go to football games. You know who's not allowed to go to baseball games? Pete Rose.
Yeah, Pete Rose. You can't gamble.
His crime was gambling. Yeah. He's banned from any baseball stadium in the United States, but OJ can go to the Bills games at the 50-yard line next to like Jim Kelly and Thurman Thomas. I mean, it's insane.
It is insane.
Anyway, we're on this OJ kick.
I know. Sorry for the OJ kick, but
that's okay.
To the whole cancel culture thing, and then OJ. I want to bring up another point. This is a completely side point from it. How much do you think people benefit from dying early? Case in point, if you just live, Hugh Hefner, okay, legend Hugh Hefner. Hugh Hefner died at like 99 years old, okay? He had his last erection, and that was it. There goes Hugh Hefner. It went on forever. Just kind of they fade away. The old conversation of burnout and fade away. When people die earlier, they become more legendary. They're better. Yeah. Now, all of a sudden, if they died, they were the funniest person ever. They were the greatest person ever. They were the greatest athlete ever. Whatever they were, if they died early, they instantly become much more of a phenomenon, and they get a lot more credit. Is it because they don't have time to fuck up? Like a lot more time to do anything wrong?
Well, it's like, I would say, an example of that is John F. Kennedy, who was assassinated at 43, I believe. And, it's St. John. I mean, he's Camelot. I mean, in our minds, he's 43, always is 43. He looks amazing. His wife looks amazing. He never got old. That's the beauty
of dying young like that, yeah.
It is. Of course. Also, not the greatest person as time went on. The stories came out about what he was like, and God knows what he would have done had he stayed on this earth.
I mean, you could have unleashed that guy for another 20 years and talk about tearing down statues. People would be peeing on that flame over there in Arlington.
Yeah, and I said earlier that they should put statues up to Kennedy, and I'm a Kennedy guy. I'm a JFK myself. Probably put that one on hold for right now. I'll just say.
So one of the examples that I was going to give,
although he was killed, he did lay his life down for the country. So little good, some bad.
I don't know if he laid his life down for the country. I don't agree.
Well, he was the president, and someone shot him, killed him while he was serving the country. I know he wasn't in the front lines, but nevertheless.
Okay, when Mike Murphy dies,
I'm not equating
his life on the line.
Not equating that. Not equating.
Okay. Anyway, my other example is
he does have the an eternal flame at Arlington National Cemetery. So I don't know. Some people thought he was killed in the line of fire, but
guess
you
what?
don't. That's fine.
He's got the eternal flame for now. It just takes one story. Someone is alive right now.
Trying to cancel.
He did something. He's going to get canceled soon. Anyway, my earlier point when I was saying when you die, recent death, Norm Macdonald.
Yeah.
I was never a big Norm Macdonald fan, but he was good. His high ends were great. He was a different delivery. He was a different.
Yeah,
say what you want. Say he was a pioneer in a lot of ways, even though amongst at the same time he came up with a lot of great comedians. However, having said that,
he
dies at, I don't know, what was Norm, 60, bless his soul. I like a guy like that, comedian like that. He dies, and all of a sudden, now his Netflix show's #1. Now he's the funniest person ever. All these things. Is it because he died early? Right?
Yeah.
Is that the problem?
Well, I think now with media that his highlights can live on. I think a guy like that. First of all, when he was on Silent Live, I think he was like a middle of the road type guy.
Yeah.
And he died, and now his fans.
I didn't get a lot of his stuff.
Yeah, I mean, that was a bad era of Saturday Night Live when he was on there. And I love SNL. I don't even think I watched him. I mean, he was okay. But I think what happens now is your highlights get on, they get played on rerun, repeat, and you just start to get a different perspective of the guy. You appreciate him a lot more. And of course, his lowlights. He died
young.
Yeah, he died young. His lowlights are not being played. So, I would say, this is going to sound like a bad example, but Kobe Bryant. I mean, he got a lot of love after his death. A lot of people did not like him. He was sort of a antagonistic person, acerbic, sometimes rude.
And
but
he
after
also went through quite an infidelity in front of the country.
exactly, yeah,
With
he
with
got
some
himself in
other, by
trouble.
the way, with some other strange accusations with it. Now,
Yeah.
luckily for him, he was before the cancel culture. If he was an NBA athlete today and did what he did and all that, it'd be a different
Yeah,
story.
Kobe, and I'm not saying Kobe hasn't deserved all the accolade. I love Kobe. I think he was just a
Yeah,
phenomenal
fine.
player. But a lot of his rough edges were sanded down, and I think it's probably a good thing. People pass away. Let's talk about the good stuff. Let's not talk about the bad
Yeah,
stuff. You
you're
go to
right
a
on that.
funeral. You go to a funeral. Everyone just talks about the good times. They don't talk about whatever bad,
Right.
losing a
You've
job or being a bad dad or whatever happens. I mean, so in that
been known to
regard, I think,
congratulate people. I mean, hey, there's celebrations.
congratulations. I mean,
I
condolences.
mean, I'm sorry. No, I've thought about that too. I mean,
The problem
I've been to some funerals to some people that I didn't think were very great people, and I hear eulogies and stuff given. And I sit in the pews and I
a
go,
lot of whitewashing.
I don't really, I don't know how good of a person this person was. I have my concerns.
Well, hopefully, we probably need to find an early grave, or we're going to be canceled at some point. I think.
There's no question that I will someday. Well, I will only be canceled if I'm in a position to be canceled, because right now nobody gives a shit.
It's ironic that you're wearing the C on your chest for cancel culture. Also, I know that's the logo for the Cleveland Indians, who were canceled.
The Cleveland Indians have been canceled. Now, guess what? Thank God for I got a stocking hat. It says Indians all the way around it. I got a couple other ones. I think I got some Washington Redskins football gear. I mean, I'm very proud of the
by the way,
Native Americans to this country. I don't get that canceling whatsoever. I think the Native Americans in this country are awesome. They were here before everybody else. I think it's always been honorable.
Yeah, I don't know
I think that's just awesome. I mean, when the Florida State guy comes out and his thing, and he's got the headdress on, spikes the thing in the turf for the Atlanta Braves.
Chicago Blackhawks are a great franchise. Atlanta Braves. By the way, how long does it take for Washington to pick a goddamn mascot? I mean, the Washington football team, I've already forgotten about the Redskins. Can we get rid of WFT? I mean, pick a name for God's sake. I mean, I'm tired of. Yeah, what the... I mean, they're going to come up with another name to offend somebody, given that crew over there. So, and by the way, the Cleveland Indians will now be the Cleveland Guardians, but of course that can't go smoothly. They've been sued by a former, I think, what is it, indoor women's roller skating team.
Fantastic story. Fantastic.
We'll do that on
story.
the news in 10 minutes. It was a Cleveland
roller
skating team, or roller derby, whatever.
Roller derby, right?
Which used to be on TV,
flying.
great fun.
Fucking awesome.
It was basically the female equivalent of professional wrestling, where they would just beat the crap out of each other in a roller derby. But they've sued because they were, I guess, called the Guardians, and I'm like, did not someone in the Cleveland Indians front office run a Google search on Cleveland Guardians to come up with that?
How many stories you have to cover in America? People were in a room for months and months doing this type of thing. You're in the same city. Millions of dollars, getting paid so much money. Nobody was in the room when they drew Bezos' rocket up there. Nobody was like, "That's a dick." There's a dick on the thing. Everyone's gonna make fun of us. Everyone's gonna be talking about it. No one could see that. You're in the same city. There's a roller derby team called the Guardians. You went with the Guardians because the Indians got canceled. It's ridiculous.
Sports teams and businesses, I think, need a director of common sense to review all major decisions to make sure there's not something galactically stupid about what's about to transpire that no one's thought of yet.
And you can find it here at Check the Tapes.
Absolutely. By the way, I'll say this, and maybe this is the final point about Aaron Rodgers. I do think he's broken the cancel culture card. I think he so screwed that up.
He did.
I mean, it just blew
fucked it up for everybody.
He did. So you better, if you're going to play the cancel culture card, you better have it. You better come strong, because Aaron Rodgers just totally fucked it all up.
You better have a airtight case of actually being canceled because of something that you didn't do or that was completely alleged, and you have no other defense other than to say this is the cancel culture at its finest. And you better be right, because he fucked the whole thing up. It's almost like he was. like kidding. Like, hey,
This
Aaron,
is the final.
you lied.
This is the
Cancel culture. Cancel
well.
culture. Got me.
I love this quote. He said, "This is the final nail in my cancel culture coffin." A lot of alliteration there, by the way. I'm like, what are you talking about? First of all, you're going to be playing in 2 weeks. You're not being canceled. A.
Yeah.
And B. This has nothing to do with any stance that you took. You flat out lied, and your employer caught you lying. And if it's any other American, they would be out on their ass. The only reason you're being saved is because you're under contract for $30 million today.
And you're very good.
To throw a touchdown pass is what you do proficiently. So that's a good. If you were Andy Dalton, you probably would be on your ass.
You should be.
Yeah.
I'll
anyway, well, all right. We'll keep the fires burning for anti-cancel culture.
Last point here. I feel like like I said earlier, it's almost like my politics, which I could give a fuck about and don't get into. But I think I'm in the middle. I really am. I'm punching both ways. If I had to side, I'm probably more on the anti-culture or anti-cancel culture side because of what has transpired. But tread lightly, anti-cancel culture crowd and view, because you're starting to jump the shark a little.
Exactly.
And you're coming. It's just not working to a certain degree.
Beware the preemptive
You're using it
strike.
too easy. Yeah. It's like anything else. Let's get a leader behind the anti-cancel culture union. I don't know what to call it.
Yeah, I don't even know anymore if people are actually. I mean, the people that are being canceled now. I haven't heard of an outrageous cancellation lately. I mean, Gruden really went for the jugular on that. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I think it's burned itself out. That's my opinion, and now it's sort of just a cliche to say.
Yeah,
but I don't know.
We can get into cancel culture has been canceled.
I think it has.
I think Check the Tape's just canceled the cancel culture. It can't go on.
It can't go on. All right, my friend.
I think we solved this problem.
Good stuff. The rest of the time is yours.